Dear learners, welcome to UGC book on tourism planning and sustainable development. Today's video module is about sustainable tourism development, guiding principles for planning and management. Dear learners, after this topic, you will be able to know about need and principles of sustainable tourism development, understand the need of planning for sustainable tourism development, to know about the principles and benefits of planning for sustainable tourism development. Dear learners, these days there is a necessity for managing sustainable tourism development, and this won't be accomplished without considering the ecological issues and their worldwide effects. There are different issues and needs of society and of the development of urban regions that may be solved by converting the cities into attractive tourist destinations. Sustainable development is a multidimensional concept which is related to the environment, natural resources, population, and industrial and agriculture production. Achieving the sustainable development implies solution aiming at the same time at the political, social, demographic, economic, and technical fields. Sustainable development can be achieved if it is based on the balance between the economic development, environmental sustainability, as well as the social development. Tourism planning is considered important to limit the various negative impacts that can arise due to tourism and affect local people of the destination. While a wide range of methodologies have been supported throughout the years, planning of tourism based on the philosophy of sustainability has emerged as one of the most comprehensive approaches. Dear learners, let's have a look on what exactly is sustainable tourism. We would like to revisit it. Sustainable tourism is made up of two words, sustainability and tourism. First, let's define sustainability. It means meeting the needs of present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. And this definition was given by Brundtland Commission. And what exactly is tourism? Tourism is the activity in which one travels from one place to another place, usually outside his or her residence, and stay there at least 24 hours, but not more than one consecutive year for leisure, pleasure, except remunerative one, and this phenomena is known as tourism. So, sustainable tourism is that phenomena which is aimed at the future generation. Dear learners, let's have a look on the sustainable tourism and its principles. The sustainable tourism attends to the needs of the present tourist and the receptive regions, and at the same time protects and promotes the opportunities for the future. It is conceived like a way forward, the management of all the resources so that can be satisfied the local, economic, and aesthetic needs, respecting at the same time the cultural integrity, the essential ecological processes, the biological diversity, and the system that maintain the life. According to United Nations World Tourism Organization, sustainable tourism is tourism that meets the needs of present tourists and host regions while protecting and enhancing opportunities for the future. Sustainable tourism refers to the tourism activity that can be maintained over the long term because it results in a net benefit for the economic, social, and natural environments of the area in which it takes place. Countries that have seen tourism sector as the savior of their economies, they often ignore the sustainability of the tourism. The awareness of the sustainable tourism concept has gained importance in the 1990s. Sustainable tourism, bringing together tourism stakeholders, enable them to take action for the common interest within a context that can guide them in decision making positions, including now and in the future, and the positive and negative effect on how balances can enable them to see more clearly is an approach that was created for the development of the tourism sector. The concept of sustainable development is based on four basic principles: environmental sustainability policy, the development of the vital ecological processes improves by providing the protection to the compatible with biodiversity and biological resources, social sustainability policy while contributing to strengthening of community identity, community development, and it has to be compatible with traditional values of the community. Sustainability policy in the human community, cultural development to be compatible with cultural values, but also has an impact on the strengthening of their identity. Sustainable economic development policy performs an effective spending with financial resources to be managed in a way that they can use for future generation. Dear learners, let's have a look on evolution of sustainable tourism development. United Nations World Tourism Organization defines sustainable tourism as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, and the environment and host community. Making tourism more sustainable means considering the both positive and negative effects and plan development based upon the needs in the arrangement, improvement, and operation of tourism. It is a non-stop procedure of change and one which applies similarly to tourism in urban areas, coastal areas, rural areas, resort, mountains, and security ranges. There are various aims of sustainable tourism development, and these are economic viability, local prosperity, employment equality, social equity, visitor fulfillment, local control, community well-being, cultural richness, physical integrity, biological diversity, resource efficiency, environmental purity. Dear learners, you have gone through the aims of the sustainable tourism. So means it gives rise to the need of the sustainable tourism development. Sustainable tourism development has now become the core global concern. And following are just point justifying the dire need of the sustainable tourism development. All the available resources in the world are rare and limited. Due to scientific and technological advancement, tourism increases and ultimately access burden on the resources, population explosions, ever growing and diversifying materialistic demands. Many people are wrongly trying to master the natural processes for own conveniences and comforts. Greenhouse effect, an increase in greenhouse gases, depletion of ozone layer, changing meteorological pattern, increase in geotectonic consequences, rapid extinction of animal and plant species, alarming, depleting natural resources. Consequently, sustainable development and sustainable resources use have taken a central stage in all kinds of the planning. Dear learners, now let's find out the dimension of sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism is a complex concept because it has a relative and a multidimensional nature. The multidimensional nature of tourism sustainability is based on three different sustainability dimensions: environmental, social, economic. As a result, sustainable tourism must undertake the environmental, social, and economic principles of sustainability. The idea of sustainability as a resource development and management rationality is penetrating all level of strategy and work on identifying with tourism, local to worldwide. Sustainable tourism can satisfy economic, social, and tasteful needs while keeping up social honesty and environmental processes. Following are the guiding principle for the sustainable tourism development. Sustainable tourism includes setting on hard political decisions in light of complex social, economic, and ecological exchanges offs. It can accommodate today's host and visitors while securing and improving a similar opportunities for the future. Tourism ought to be carried out in sustainable manner with due respect for the conservation and effective and optimum economic uses of the natural and human environment in local area. Tourism ought to be embraced because of value to appropriate reasonability, advantages and cost between the tourism stakeholder and local communities people. Prerequisites to sustainable tourism development: better tourism attractions, better tourism infrastructure such as domestic and international airports, bus stands, railway stations, and hotels ranging from budgeted to luxury. Support and resistance of local residents of the destination, government help at all levels, proper safety and security measures for tourists, code of ethics and behavior of tourists. Key strategy for sustainable tourism development: promotion of ecotourism, and we call it eco-centric approach; special interest, selective tourism; tourism complex planning, tourism development according to carrying capacity; regular environmental impact assessment and application of remedial measures; community-based or community approach of tourism development, which should result in community empowerment, use of indigenous technology, local material and styles; wider distribution of tourism benefits; synergy with ongoing economic activities; greater participation of various players of tourism in policy and decision making, which include travel trade institutions, hoteliers, transporters, tourism developers, destination community, tourism researchers, etc. What are the various benefits of sustainable tourism development? Achieve efficiency and saving in business operations activities, ecological, economic, maintain natural cycle in marine, coastal ecosystems and their impact in global climate change. Conserve the destination tourist attraction that attract the tourist to visit a particular destination, maintain destination quality and competitiveness, protect and improve prospective investment opportunities, protect and conserve biodiversity as legacy for future generations. Dear learners, let's summarize this topic. Sustainable tourism is seen as a goal in tourism development. There are various investors in the field of sustainable tourism, which include the local residents, government organizations, tourism industry, tourist pressure groups, voluntary sector, experts and the media industry. Sustainable tourism is a positive approach planned to diminish the strains and rubbing made by the mind-boggling connections between the tourism business, guest, the earth and the groups which are host to occasion creators. It is an approach which includes working for the long-haul feasibility and nature of both characteristics and human resource. It is not against development, but rather recognizes that there are cutoff points to development. Sustainable tourism suggests a way to deal with improvement gone for adjusting social and monetary destinations with naturally stable administration. Thank you.